They gave me a bunch of meat, and my freezer's stocked.
Another lightweight banger in this one, Meat Boy, and I'm curious to see where you're going to go because two tough dudes, Nazim Sadykhov is taking on Viacheslov Borshchev, a.k.a. Slava Claus, and last time we saw Slava Claus, you got to give it to him. He absolutely smoked Maheshate. Light work made Maheshate appear as though he could be a BKFC All-Star because that was easy light work. Finished him in the second round, and I thought that was encouraging for Slava personally because the dude had lost two straight decisions, and in both of those fights, he was kind of taken down. He was controlled. The first by Mark Jacasey, the second to Mike Davis, which I think was a little bit more concerning, but it wasn't. The jury was essentially out on Borshchev as far as how you can beat this guy. So for him to come back and stifle Maheshate's takedowns and ultimately sleep him was to me a good sign. And Slava, we know, is a guy who's been training at Team Alpha Male forever. It seems like at this point he's 31, about to be 32, and likely is peaking. And if we remember, this is a guy who was a professional boxer before joining the sport of MMA and ultimately the highest level in the UFC. So Borshchev keeps getting better and better. In this fight, he is a slight dog, but it's basically a pick'em. Sadykhov, meanwhile, is minus 120, and he's 9-1. He's from Azerbaijan originally, but has been fighting and training under Longo in Brooklyn for a while. And this is a guy who, ever since his pro debut, has been on an absolute tear. He lost his debut in 2018, but has since rifled off 9 straight, including 2 fights in the UFC, and both of them were finishes in his favor. He smoked Evan Elder light work, and most recently he finished Terrence McKinney, and I think that was a fight that kind of surprised a lot of people. McKinney was about a minus 175 favorite, and Sadykhov came in as a dog and absolutely smoked him. It was a beautiful second round finish, rear naked choke specifically. So in this one, Meat Boy, the odds basically have it as a pick'em, but Tapology is awfully bullish on Sadykhov. Any chance that Slava Claus pulls off another upset, or are you rolling Tapology and thinks that Nazim is going to be a nightmare for Borshchev?
Yeah, no, this is a sweet fight, and honestly, I do like Slavic Claus, but I gotta go with the Black Wolf on this one. I think he might be too much to handle. I mean, like you said, it was very surprising to see, how he beat Terrence McKinney pretty easily, and he's had a great run so far in the UFC, 3-0, all finishes KO, TKO, and then submission. He's got majority, KOs, little submissions, 1 decision. This probably isn't going the decision. Makes sense why Tapology is so bullish on the KO. Honestly, for both these guys, because it looks like someone's getting knocked out. A little surprised to see so much submission for Slavic Claus, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised by that. But dude, I just think the Black Wolf is that new wave. I mean, he's 29. He's so much younger, versus, Slavic Claus is 31. And he's got the same reach. Not really too many advantages there, but he is just the better fighter. His record shows it.
Yeah, he seems to be more well-rounded. Like, Borshchev obviously is pretty gnarly on the feet. The dude can obviously strike, especially with that boxing background, but he has been exposed on the ground, whereas Sadykhov is pretty competent on the feet and we know has the wrestling / jiu-jitsu game to boot. So do you think, Meat Boy, that Sadykhov is going to try and deploy the Mark Jacasey on Slavikov strategy where he just repeatedly takes him down, smashes him, maybe tries to finish him if he can, but ultimately just wins the fight in the grappling wrestling department? Or do you anticipate this fight being more of a slobber knocker on the feet and Sadykhov even has the advantage there? Grappling heavy affair or striking in this one?
Yeah, I think he's going to have the advantage wherever it goes, but I think it's gonna stay on the feet. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very surprised to see so much on the submission side. I think it's just. I mean, if you look at it, he has 2 submissions of all of his fights, and one of them was Terrence McKinney. Before that, he only had 1 in his whole career. So to then go this bullish on submissions for this guy, it's just kind of a head scratcher. Like, I don't know if people are paying attention or not, but it's just very interesting to me. So I think it's probably going to end on the feet with a KO. I hope the odds are juicy, but yeah, I really think the Black Wolf's going to get it done. He's got 6 KOs, 2 submissions, 1 decision. I doubt it's going decision, so maybe it is a submission, but I don't know. He's got a lot of KOs, so I imagine it's got to go there.
Yeah, good stuff there. I think maybe it has to do with the fact that Slaviklaz has probably never been finished. He hasn't been submitted, hasn't been KO'd either, so maybe they just saw those deficiencies of him on the ground. I mean, he was able to survive the full 15 against Diakiese, but it was a lot of groundwork. It was a lot of smothering, so perhaps they're coupling that fact with the Sadykhov recent submission and putting 2 and 2 together to think that Borshchev is the next submission victim. But I'm with you. I'd be a little bit surprised if he does get subbed as well. I actually can see a path where this does go the distance, because I think both these guys are pretty solid on the feet, and I'm not sure if one guy will have the more overwhelming power than the other. I have I've heard some commenters say that Borshchev is going to have a sincere power advantage in this one, but from what I've seen, it seems pretty balanced to me. So I'm with you, me boy. I actually like Sadykhov at -120. I think that's some pretty solid value, and I think this is going to be a solid New York affair for the Longo product, and the Black Wolf is going to eat through Borshchev. So I'm going to go Sadykhov. I'm going to say decision, though, but ultimately I like him at pick'em value as at money line as it is. So Sadykhov's the pick. Any last thoughts?
No, it's a great fight, fun fight nonetheless. Don't in the comments taking it why. Smash that me, subscribe.